Today I'm going to share what went wrong during my third SIBO treatment round, so stay tuned. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Amanda Malacheski. I'm a certified functional nutrition health coach and a digestive and allergy detective. I help people with unpredictable bloating, constipation, or diarrhea go from food anxiety, endless questions, and second guessing to a confident plan for calm digestion. So if this sounds like something you're struggling with, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video. I recently completed my third round of SIBO treatment with Rifaximin and Neomycin, and it didn't quite go as I planned. So by the end of today's video, you'll know what happened, and you'll have an idea of how to interpret these inevitable little failures that we experience on our journey to heal our gut, so you can have an idea of what to learn from them and where to go from there. This method is what I teach inside my programs, and this is what helped my client Judy go from chronic daily diarrhea to a normal gut again, and you can too, so let's get started. So in February, I did my first ever Rifaximin and Neomycin treatment round for my long-term SIBO. This was recommended by my naturopath. And then I did a second round of treatment in April. And I shared about my experiences with those two treatment rounds in two previous videos, my SIBO treatment with Rifaximin and Neomycin and my SIBO treatment with Rifaximin and Neomycin part 2 or round 2. And then I made a video called my recent SIBO test results, which shared the test results that I had done after round 2 of treatment to share what had actually changed with the treatment round. So that's the backstory for today's video. So if you haven't seen any of those videos, please go check them out. I will link them below this video for you for sure. In June, I started a third round of treatment. And in the middle of May, I had a pretty significant gut flare after my second COVID vaccine. So I was going into this treatment with a little bit of a setback. So that's just sort of the reality. My main treatment protocol included, as the other times, 550 milligrams of Rifaximin 3 times a day, 550 milligrams of Neomycin twice a day, 900 milligrams of N-acetylcysteine, NAC, twice a day, 200 milligrams of magnesium citrate twice a day, which is my normal supplement that I use to support my constipation problem. I included GI detox once at bedtime and once first thing in the morning to help with die-off symptoms as needed. And I also included quercetin, 500 milligrams in the morning. This is also part of my normal routine. And I also started out with partially hydrolyzed guar gum, PHGG, also known as sun fiber, as a prebiotic during my treatment. I used this in round 2 as well. So I have a couple clips for you to share about what happened, so here they are. Hey there, gut travelers. This is Amanda. This is my pre-SIBO treatment round 3 video. I just want to report that going into my third round, I've got some bloating. I get pain right near my sternum, just below my rib cage. I've also been having a really good bit of ovulation pain lately. This is maybe a flare-up of my previous endometriosis. And let's see, what else did I write down here? Oh, and I'm often skipping days with pooping. So I'm kind of back to a point where things have slowed down a bit. This kind of got worse after I got my second COVID vaccine. My gut did flare up after that. So that's kind of where I'm starting. And I'm doing, as directed by my naturopath, a third round of Rifaximin with Neomycin. I'm hoping that this final round is going to make a difference for me, and maybe hopefully we don't have to do another. So that's it for now. Hey everyone, it's been a little while since I recorded a little check-in. I think I'm on day 14 now of my third Rifaximin protocol, and this one has been really hard. I can just be straight up and say that. This whole last week I was away from home. So I was traveling and I had a kitchen to cook in, so I was still taking good care of myself, but I was experiencing a lot of nausea and loose bowels, which is highly unusual for me. So I think it's a good thing. I don't totally know yet. I've had to step up on the binders, which, help me, tolerate the nausea and clean up any, kill byproducts of killing the SIBO. And I've also cut off my magnesium citrate, which I normally take to help with constipation. I have not been constipated. And let's see, what else? My skin's been breaking out a little bit too. So I am not sure what all this means. My naturopath's thinking we might need to add in the antifungals, but I was away, so I didn't have them. So I'm going to be working on adding those in this week. And I think that's the update. So acne, loose bowels, shifting supplements around to new things, and maybe my diet's going to have to change here too. So we'll see. Hey there, everyone. It's day 18 of my SIBO protocol, number 3. And I have had to discontinue the medication. I had a really terrible flare over days, 16, 17. Just a lot of nausea, extreme fatigue. I was trying to leave for a trip and I could not physically cope. I was having diarrhea and nausea and just unable to muster energy to do things. So I've just been trying my best to get through this protocol, and I've decided I can't finish. I've tried to work the medication back in, and every time I do, I get pain in my belly and don't feel well. So this is one of those situations where sometimes we can't tolerate a treatment right now for whatever reason, and we can just back off or take a break. So that's that. So there you have it. I didn't really succeed with this treatment round and I had to stop. And this sometimes happens. And one of the things that I often teach inside of my programs is this idea of taking iterative action. And this basically means entering into a treatment experiment or a diet change or whatever you're changing with a question in mind that you're trying to answer, and then evaluating what happens and then choosing your next steps based on what you've learned from the current experiment. So my question going into this round of treatment was, is ongoing SIBO the underlying cause of my ongoing bloating and abdominal pain and constipation? And so as I come out the other side, I'm asking myself, what did I learn about that question in this treatment round? So number 1, the antibiotics did not, in this case, give me very much relief at all from bloating. In fact, it made it worse. And it also triggered nausea and diarrhea. And so this wasn't really the success that I hoped it would be. And my interpretation of this was that the antibiotics were likely causing an imbalance of some other type downstream. And my hypothesis about this, and my suspicion was that it was causing an overgrowth of yeasts of some kind. Number 2, it's possible that this batch of Rifaximin was contaminated somehow, but I really am not sure how I would test for that in this situation. Number 3, I improved a little bit with less magnesium, less N-acetylcysteine as a biofilm buster, and more GI detox, but it didn't really take away everything. So whatever was going on was bigger than those supplements. Number 4, I felt better when I stopped the antibiotics and stopped the biofilm busters, and I felt better when I added oral antifungal medication, in this case nystatin, as a prescription from my naturopath. So that kind of confirmed my hypothesis that fungal overgrowth might be a problem here. And number 5, this time I could not tolerate the sun fiber. Every time I used it, I felt way more bloated. And so that was a pretty clear signal from my body that this was not a good idea right now. Finally, even though I felt so bad, this could be evidence that the SIBO treatment was working. So in other words, what I was experiencing could have been severe die-off symptoms from the SIBO infection that was really finally, that we were really finally getting some traction with. So I'm not sure about this, but I am planning to run a follow-up SIBO test later this week so that I can evaluate whether or not this treatment round actually moved the needle with the SIBO infection itself. And I'll be sure to make a follow-up video about that. But ultimately, I believe that I have severe adhesions and scar tissue as a side effect of my endometriosis diagnosis and then the surgery that I had to correct my endometriosis problems. So until I deal with this underlying cause, I think I might be at the end of the road of what Rifaximin can really do for me. And I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I do have a plan to do the Clear Passage physical therapy treatment. I was going to do it in August, but I've pushed it out to November. So, I think until I deal with this structural problem of my guts not flowing or moving well, being kind of bound up, I'm bound to continue to have constipation episodes that allow SIBO to regrow. Have you done SIBO treatment with antibiotics? I'm curious to hear what you've learned from your treatment round, or if you have questions about what you can gather from your treatment experience. So you can leave those questions in the comments. So that's what happened during my latest SIBO treatment. I didn't tolerate the treatment very well, but even though that's the case, I'm still learning and gathering new information from that experience that I can apply to my future steps. So if you're someone who's struggling with these kinds of questions about what's going on with your gut, how to sequence your treatments, how to interpret what's happening, I am opening up applications for my next round of the Calm Digestion Method program. It's an 8-week program to help you go from food anxiety, endless questions, and second guessing to a confident plan for calm digestion. So if you'd like to apply for a seat in the program, you can go to confluencenutrition.com/contact, and there's a link there to fill out the application for the program. And if you seem like a good fit, I'll reach out to talk about scheduling a conversation to talk more about it. So I hope that I will meet you over there. So I hope that this video has helped you learn more about how to look at your treatment experiments and what you can learn from them. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, or consider sharing it with someone else who you think could use it, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.